Hello and welcome to our method tutorial series on creating a basic app. In the previous video, we made save buttons for our new car screen. Now we're making a brand new screen to list the cars. The new car screen was automatically started for you, so we're going to create one from scratch. From the dashboard, click the vertical ellipsis on our Cars app and select the Manage link. This brings us to all the screens for your app. We can create a new screen by clicking Create Screen. First, it wants a screen name. We'll name it Cars List. Next up is the base table. We will keep the default of our Cars table. You can choose any table you wish, regardless of what the base table of the app is. However, you will not be able to change it later on, so keep that in mind. When you click Create, you'll be taken to the design mode for this new screen. Customize time. Select Section 1 and change its caption to Sec List. Uncheck Show Header Title Bar. We're going to drag a grid in here, and they have built-in padding, so we won't worry about changing the padding for this section. Select the plus icon and locate and drag in the grid object into our section. Select the grid and change the caption to Grid Car. We don't want people to see this caption though, so select Hide Caption. The grid is now added to the screen and it will show data from its base table, the Cars table. Of course, it won't show anything at all because there's no data in our table, but neither are the columns set up for the grid. Let's configure it. Click the down arrow on our grid, and on the menu you will see a few new entries here. The columns will define which fields are shown in the grid. The views allow you to filter which records are shown in the grid. And load and row click, as indicated by the lightning bolt, are events for the grid. For now, select columns and this interface pops up. We can now select which columns we want shown in our grid. On the left is a list of the columns in our grid. Currently, there's only one, and that's the record ID. On the right, we have the properties of that column. There are a number of options to set, but I will point out this area, Show. Note how desktop and mobile are unchecked? That means this record ID column will not be shown in the grid. A user, however, can make it visible from the grid's gear menu. The other options you can experiment with. For now, add a new column by clicking this link. On the right, it lists out the fields of the table. You can also create other types of columns, but for now, we'll stick with this area here. Select the Contact Name field. This field appears in the column list on the left and its properties on the right. We'll change its caption to say driver, but I'll keep the defaults for the rest of this column. Now, we'll add more columns, but we can do more than just one at a time. Select Add Another Column. At the top right, click Add Multiple Columns, and each field now has a checkbox beside it. The order you click the fields is the order it will be added to the columns list, so click them in this order. Car name, car make, license plate, and is active. Select Done when complete. Great, they've been added. Let's change the captions for these columns. Select the car name column on the left and change its caption to car space name. Select car make and change its caption to make. Select license plate and change its caption to plate number. Change the width to 10 and select percent to ensure the width of the column isn't too large. Nobody has long license plate numbers, I hope. And finally, select is active, change its caption to active, and change the width to 10% as well. Huzzah! Done! The columns will automatically be saved, as you can see by this save checkmark in the upper right hand corner. If you make a mistake, you can add more columns, you can move the columns around with the arrow icons, and you can delete a column with the trash can. Let's select Close to exit the column properties. And now to the preview. And there we go. It's our grid all set up. So, what's missing from the screen? A nav section. But I'm not going to create another video showing you how to make this. Why? Because you did it already back when we were creating the new car screen. So as an exercise to you, I want you to add a new section that will house the nav links. On the left will be the back button. On the right will be a new car text object with a plus icon. Yes, it's a little different, but I know you can do it. Once you've done that, go on to the next video where we will talk about snapshots and the default screen. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye-bye.